everybody was talking about housing is unaffordable, and our kids, they would have been condemned to basement suites or a box in the sky, rental all the time, unless we did this.
Hi. Wow, the whole crew's out here. Hi. I like your houses. A lot of houses in one spot.
But they're not ADUs. They're 4 separate titles, 4 separate mortgages. So each of our children have their own title, their own mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a house a lot like one of those little ranchers. When we first moved in here in 1988, there was a field across the street. Okay. And they wanted to redevelop it, and that's when we started to say, well, why can't we have 33-foot lots instead of a 66-foot lot? We had a 66-foot lot.
Would this have been the size of your lot before?
Yes, it's exactly 66 by 100.
66 by 100. So yeah. Basically, they are using the same lot space for one home?
Absolutely.
That's one home, not duplex?
That's one home. Okay. That's one home, yeah.
And the same with like most of these, right? Like
yeah, these are, I think they're a little bit narrower, but they're still
single family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty much single family.
Yeah, this is a total single family neighborhood, and yet the council members voted unanimously to allow this because they knew that what we wanted to do.
I made all kinds of sketches and models where we were 0 lot line, where you built on the property line, and they were detached units, 4 separate houses. And then we presented to the city what we thought would actually pass. Now, the other thing that you didn't point out was she went around to see all 30 of our neighbors and to show them this is what we're thinking of doing.
Before we put the sign up, I went around and I said, which would you prefer, one great big house or 4 little houses with everyone paying their own set of taxes? And there was nobody from our neighborhood that opposed us when we had the public hearing. They knew we weren't going to just flip it. We did it for our kids.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
And our kids, James and Patrick, lived in a basement suite until these were built.
Like at one time in this country, they built what they call the wartime houses. Well, hundreds, if not thousands of those were built. The spirit that drove that was the idea that we have to make it possible for young families to get into a house where they can raise a family and settle down and not keep moving from place to place. And that we need to do that again. We need to revisit that.
We got the membraner, Caitlin, doing our sill membrane there. We're trying to prep these rough openings with the pre-stripping the correct way. That is not the correct way.
What?
No, I'm pointing down there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're doing it perfect. You're doing it perfect. Look at that membrane. Oh, look at that adhesion.
All the corners for that air barrier.
For the air barrier. This one, no, just.
I mean, this was an economy project, to put it mildly. It was as economy as we could make it.
I've been here all day. It's great.
Yeah, but we all qualified for the mortgages. And you know, when I first suggested it to Patrick, he said, owning a house, that's for grown-ups. And I said, Patrick, you're 24.
Bye.
News on Wednesday.
So, and it really makes them grow up when they have a mortgage. It really makes them grow up.
So they are houses legally?
Yes, exactly. Like they're mini duplexes. This is like there's 2 separate lots, but on each lot there's 2 separate titles, but they're joined by just one party wall. And that's the only common property.
So yes. You could resell each one individually.
Exactly. And we couldn't be happier. Instead of a lot of these garages are not used as garages, they're used as storage places. And so by not having garages, we cut down not only the cost, but the bulk. So we could fit the 4 units.
So how does it set up? The front homes are the kids?
So we own the back one.
Okay.
And then our youngest daughter owns this one, but she lives in a co-op with her husband off the property. Okay. And so she's letting my 94-year-old deaf mother live in here. And my mom is so happy. Anytime she needs anything, I can just pop over. But for the little boys to be able to come over, you know, for them to have the connection with their great-grandmother.
Ah, that's a good boy.
That's like a richness that we're really happy to have. Also, we have my daughter-in-law's sister living with us because she was at work and needed childcare. So her sister could just pop over in the morning, and then the little boys didn't have to go anywhere.
Like a built-in nanny, a live-in nanny. There's just so many generations here.
Yeah, well, we love it. And we have big family gatherings here where we put all the food there and then they just walk around and it's like a buffet.
It's crazy.
And then everyone sits everywhere. This is the house that we had before. And then this is the house that my mom lives in now. This is our house. This is James and Caitlin and the two little boys' house. And this is Patrick's house. So there's no common property.
So the ground floor, this is only 500 square feet gross, but it's got everything.
And all one room. And this is John's
Yeah, I work
at-home
from
office.
home. When I work from home.
He's still working full-time and so am I.
The total square footage again in this house is
1,000 square
Well,
feet.
it's actually 1,500 because we'll take you upstairs and we'll take you downstairs. It's 500 on each floor.
so it's a pretty good sized house.
Yeah.
But it's more like a condo on the ground. Like the people live in 1,000 square feet condos and high rises. You're forced to make everything fit.
Okay, this is our little tiny half bath here. It's the littlest sink you can possibly get.
It's really a closet, a water closet, but it does the job. To the basement, they told us that we had to have a pump, if we made it deeper.
This is my office. Like this is where my computer is and everything. So it's also a guest room because the couch reconfigures into a queen size bed. But see, this is what we do. And then even if there's more people, this folds out into a bed as well. So that's
Wow,
like they're two little cots. Yeah,
So it sleeps.
at least four. But the kids come down and play here. And
So much space.
yeah, it's,
So this sleeps 6. Okay, we'll keep going.
and then upstairs we have a 4-foot bathtub because that's the only way we could fit beside the stairs.
The famous 4-foot tub, hard to find, and it was built over the stairs, again, trying to squeeze every square inch out of the space.
Our laundry room is upstairs. James's laundry room is downstairs. But we really love it upstairs because we don't have to take it up and downstairs. It's fantastic. And then I'll show you, this is the little room where where my daughter-in-law's sister lives.
So kind of the nanny live.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In a sense, I mean a family nanny.
But this used to be our daughter's room before she moved out.
Fun, and she even fits in a workout machine.
I know, yeah.
Oh, that's like its own little studio apartment.
It's like she's got everything in there. It's pretty compact, but she's lived here for a year and she's so easy to have around. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and this is our bedroom. So this is
So light.
well, and then we have our clothes here, so that we don't need a.
But you have also tons of storage.
Yeah. Well, this is our closets and storage. Yeah. So that's and then we have a 3/4 bath there.
Wow.
And because it's a
barn door.
a barn door, it doesn't take up any space.
Yeah, but it
when
smacks.
you swing.
It goes boom.
John, don't worry. I think it's way better than a door that swings. So, yeah. And then we have the other small sink there as well. We love living here. But the thing is, because it took us so long, we never thought that Patrick and our youngest daughter, Margaret, could qualify. But because it took us so long, they barely had enough, like they had an ordinary job, and they barely qualified for a mortgage just at the time when everything was ready to be set. So it's great that it took so long.
So everybody got their own mortgages?
Yes.
Oh, so that was how you financed it.
Absolutely. It was not just us. It was
Including
a
us.
joint effort.
Older couple with a mortgage.
No, but it's great. But
Well, we had paid the house was paid off. That's the benefit. We owned the land, so there was no debt on it.
see, this is where the little grandkids come back and forth. Hi, Gabe.
Hi. So where do you go to your grandma's house?
He just sneaks over, right?
Okay, you go.
The land we gave to our kids was their down payment. So all they had to do was start paying the mortgage. Okay, come and get some gummy vitamins, you guys. Let's go. Let's go get the gummy vitamins. When land is so expensive, why do you need a house on a big lot? We have 3 parks within 2 minutes walk of here. So why do we need to own land that we have to do a lot of landscaping on? Especially as we get older, we don't want a lot of landscaping. Okay. Okay, this is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, take them back home now, Mom and Dad. Okay.
So everyone has their own yard and there's no common property.
Exactly. They're mini duplexes. They're joined by just one party wall.
That's the party wall there. And there's a slight difference of coloration, but it's not big enough. You don't really notice it. We should have revisited.
Slightly darker.
Utilities are all together?
No.
Okay, so the city made us do that. I had intended to place these back at the jog, but the hydro said no. You have to have it within a meter of the front wall.
Well, it does. But we wouldn't have done it if we couldn't have had 4 separate titles, because we wanted each of our children to be homeowners. That was
that equity and that
and yeah,
have
and
their own.
to be living on the ground with no maintenance fees. That was absolutely.
When did your mom move in?
She moved in 2019, and actually my dad had passed away from dementia 3 weeks earlier. And they were living in a senior's place. And then he just naturally passed away just before the month when she would move in. And so she was so happy.
15-minute walk.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'd have to show you my dishwasher.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's built in.
Everything is, there's nothing that I need. Everything is here.
yeah, she does her own cooking.
You have a full-size oven. It's huge.
Yeah, and yeah, she cooks and then the fridge. Her fridge is much neater than mine. She was always
Is the freezer full?
she's just naturally tidy, so.
There's absolutely nothing I need. I am just so well looked after.
She does her own laundry.
Absolutely nothing that I don't need. Everything I need is here. It's just perfect. And you know the best thing is there's grab bars in the bathroom, just in the right place. Because I'm 94. Here's this one built in, and then there's this one. And then this is another thing.
She has the mirror there, so it doesn't have to be on the wall until she needs it, right? So this is her bedroom, and
This is another thing that is so handy because there's no clothes closet. So
it feels pretty spacious because of the high ceilings. I think that's a main thing about it.
Do you go upstairs?
No,
No.
not unless I have to.
so that's yeah. So this is a little bedroom here. She has used it for guests, but when my daughter moves in, then they would want a 3rd bedroom for their family, right? So that they already are married with a little kid. Yeah.
Oh, because this is your daughter's home.
Yeah, she owns it, but she lives in a co-op with her husband. So the great thing is she can pay rent. Yeah, and then this is the 3/4 bath up here as well. And my daughter has come to stay here when she's visiting from Nashville. She has stayed here.
So she stays with her grandmother.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. It's but I mean it's so wonderful to have her living here because we don't have to go anywhere. Like, I mean, one time she fell and broke her arm, and I was right here to take her to the hospital. So she really enjoys it.
Is there a reason why it wasn't bigger like the back house? Could you have made this bigger?
No, they wouldn't have let us. They wanted 2 separate sizes because at the time when we built it, this was not allowed, right? So instead of making it a laneway house that's just on the same title, they said, okay, if you want separate titles, one has to be smaller than the other so that, I don't know, they had this idea of appealing to different demographics. But then I talked to them on the planner on Saturday to say, how difficult would it be to extend this out and put a wall up and make a 3rd bedroom? And they said it shouldn't be a problem because we're not changing the outside of it. And the reason we made it low to the street to begin with is we wanted to sort of mirror the houses across the street so it fit in with the neighborhood as much as possible, right?
Amazing.
Did you expect ever to live in the same property as your family? Like multi-generation?
Well,
Yeah.
it's these two. They're so clever.
I asked my sister when we were building this, what do you think of the idea of Mom living in one of them? And she said, oh, that would be fantastic. Because otherwise, when she used to live in the seniors thing, we both had a bit of a drive to see her, and there was always something. And
It was really expensive too.
yeah, it was very expensive. And this is, yeah, so this
This is a fraction of the price, probably.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's win-win. She always says, I'm so happy to live here. I'm surrounded by people who love me and I have support, but she is private. She likes her independence too. She actually goes for walks with her walker around, like it takes her about 15 minutes. There's a little walkway there behind the houses. Yeah. And so it takes about 15 minutes, but that's how she keeps up her strength. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Were driveways required?
Oh yes, we had to have two. I mean, these are two. It was a stretch. 2 small cars can fit here. 2 small cars at the back, and yeah, it's a stretch. But like I say, they were trying. If we could justify them on the ground on the basis that they will fit, then they went ahead and approved it. You know, even surprising that even with all the paving, you know, a little bit of landscaping makes all the difference.
When we first got involved, early days, we thought, oh, a few years, a couple years. Well, no, it took a little while, but we, as soon as the design started to come together, it was just, we could see, wow, our own little, almost single-family home in a private neighborhood with our own 4 walls, 3.5 walls, we'll call it. A little shared party wall. You know, it's 1,500 square feet of total living space, huge. But it's also, you take for granted that, you know, when you have a normal house format, you've got a lot of utility space and kind of extra, but it all had to fit in a 500 square foot floor plate. And so having things you need, no garage, you got to fit everything in the different nooks and crannies, and then still make it interesting and inviting. Just enough to get us, you know, we've got the space we need.
We put a gate in at the end here so that I can just pull the car up, close it, and then I can kind of keep the door open and keep an eye on them. And then they play.
But this is how it used to be. People living like this. Lots of generations in one place, you know?
The 4 walls are, you know, separate enough, private enough that you have that independence, but you're not isolated.
Yeah, it really is. We call it the compound.
Yeah, the compound. I think that can't be overstated. I lived here all my life. My parents have. We're used to it. Caitlin, she's my wife, so she's not family. She's not coming in bloodline, right? And so this is where we had to have privacy so that people feel comfortable if they join the commune, I guess.
Commune or compound?
Let's call it a compound. It's a compound. So one of the biggest things is the 9-foot ceiling to make it so that even it's a small floor plan. And then the biggest thing is the kitchen and the living dynamic to make sure that we have enough space for everything. And with the boys especially, you know, play areas and making messes and, okay, Ollie, come on in. Oopsie, Gabe. So this was the exercise in space.
Wow, but that's a great space saver.
You can already see keeping things light and airy off the ground. You can see wall mounted and you know, high enough that we can clean under it easily. But the kitchen setup with the living room, that was quite the exercise to fit it all in. There's really no compromise, but it has enough of a separation between the spaces. I would say after this typical kitchen setup, we have a little garbage nook, and then also the microwave in the island, and just having enough room for keeping this open and airy. This is where all of the space saving happens. So we have a little mini pantry, behind this wall, a little powder room, and then over here, obviously the stairs, and then closet. Upstairs, there's a bathroom. It's all one big stack of utility to fit it all in one corner so that the rest of the plan is living, kitchen, enough space for 2 boys for now.
When John first designed it, he actually had the powder room coming out this way with the peninsula. And of course, I need an island. Yeah. So we ended up pushing the bathroom this way. And then I realized I have no pantry space. So because the toilet's on this side of the bathroom, we just pushed this wall in a little bit. My pantry.
It's not that deep, but you fit a lot.
When we designed all of this, I actually measured a cereal box. I was like, it has to fit a cereal box.
Just fits.
The one big thing with this is because we maximize the floor area, we're within about 1 meter of the side lot lines. And so that's the other big thing with all of this is following the BC building code. And so, you know, having a little bit of flexibility is nice, but we still have to stay within the requirements. So in fact, the sidewalls have to be fully fire rated and no openings. And that's why they're opaque, you know, by code.
But it works. We're not looking at someone's window.
Yeah, that's true. And then we kind of make it work with windows looking elsewhere.
Even the views from here, you actually sort of just see out, you see a lot of green, and you have to actually come around to sort of see the other house. You have to be in the corner to get that full house view.
That's a good point. Powder room, call it a stall, whatever you want, but it is plenty. You don't need much else.
With the smallest possible sink, right?
And in fact, and CSA compliant. The mechanical ducts run up all the way up to the attic. The heat and cooling for the upper floor is in the ceiling, and the heat and cooling for this floor is in the floor below. And it avoids having bulkheads.
They wanted a bulkhead right here. And I was like, no.
The other big thing is the height limitation for the development. So you'll notice the slightly shorter basement just to make it fit. And so this is the slightly shorter basement, and this is the bulkhead that we talked about. But that was big to get it so that we had a nice flat ceiling on the main floor, and then also not going too deep for the basement that we would need a sump pump. So this is actually still gravity drained. So that's why we didn't want to go too deep with the basement, and it saved us lots of money and headache. This is the toy.
There's a lot of toys tucked away down here.
It's just a normal shelf, and then I added to mount it to the wall again to keep it open.
So we've got baskets and...
Oh, I like the basket thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps to keep things clean.
Wow, everything.
More storage, yeah.
Yeah, everything has storage.
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Even this couch here, we've got some extra storage that we usually have blankets in here, so.
Well,
Whose office is this then?
this is mine. Floating shelves. I fit it, nothing custom. It's all just off the shelf and then adapted to the millimeter. Wow. It just happened to fit in here. And then my utility closet. This is essentially all the different things that make it easier without owning a garage. It's a mess, but I love it. So hot water, heating and cooling. We did this intentionally to squeeze as much as I could in here.
Micro garage and storage.
Yeah, a little freezer as well. So
That was a big thing.
one more little fun thing down here.
His favorite thing.
Our drying rack. Isn't that fun? I made it, again, Amazon pieces, and then I kind of jerry-rigged it together. Because this is the laundry zone. We don't have a laundry room. We fit it all down here so that we could get the bedrooms upstairs. And then under here as well, well, I'll see.
That's a big mess. That's all the camping gear. Did you show her the laundry hatch?
We can't open it, but this is the laundry.
You
this
could
is the laundry
open
chute.
it.
If you open it, well, let's see what happens.
Okay, we're gonna open it. It's a gamble every time. Let's see what happens. So you hold this, fold it down.
Gabe loves this.
Ready to go. Then you gotta do all the laundry.
But where does it go? Can we see where
Yeah,
it
you can look up here.
Unintentionally, this has become a great storage spot for all of the dirty laundry. If we're a little bit behind, it goes up, and then if we can see it from the second floor, oh, we better do laundry. But none of the bedrooms have laundry baskets. It just hides in this little tube.
And that's 2 floors of tube.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go up. We'll find that tube. Let's find the top. That your invention?
I can't patent it, but I certainly made it fit.
So James and my brother put it in while they were building.
Mid-floor access for the dirty.
Oh, funny.
It's just duct. It's just 10-inch duct.
If we can see it up here, then we know, okay, we got to do some laundry.
Yeah, the stack goes.
Because you can see it sometimes.
Sometimes it piles up.
And then the utility corner, the vent stack, the storage. I mean, it just adds up, and it's all in about 100 square feet of footprint for all 3 floors. This is where I throw the, you just stuff your underwear in there and forget about it.
So he's got a little stopper on it so it doesn't open up too. We don't want it to open all the way up with the kids.
Yeah. So this is the 4-foot tub. There's 2 on the market at the time, and they're multiple times the price of a typical, Home Depot 5-foot tub. It was the argument we had, do we need a tub? Do we even need one? This was back,
We didn't have kids then.
Caitlin was right, we needed a tub. And so I'm glad we put that in when we did.
Yeah.
So this is the 3-bedroom floor plan. One good size main bedroom, and then the kids' bedrooms.
Next door, this is a square hallway. So for us, it's just here on the diagonal because now I've got 3 walls in each room to put furniture, and the doors don't get in the way of furniture. And then I have all of this, like to fit a chair, and I'm not walking into a piece of furniture as soon as these doors get opened. So I knew I was going to have to maximize the space and find a way to fit furniture because these are very small rooms. I think this is probably qualifies as a den. It can fit a twin bed, just about here, I believe, if I needed to, which I probably will. We squeezed this in, and then this corner was tough because there's the duct. There's like a
the ductwork
big
comes
square duct back there
from the bathroom, and then that's where these ceiling vents are doing the heating and cooling.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to have the bulkheads. But yeah, so we hid it with a mini closet.
All my storage. So I've got all their shoes and mostly all of their shoes.
This is just kind of minimal, like narrow bedroom. I mean, really just enough space, no extra, but you don't really need more than that.
The other big one is no built-in closets because of the amount of space. That's actually one of the decisions way back. We said we needed the master to be just wide enough so that we could fit, it looks like custom, but totally typical off-the-shelf wardrobes.
Yeah, when John designed this room, I said I need, what was like 6 more inches. So he moved this whole ensuite 6 inches so I could fit my 4 packs. So I got my dresses, my diapers. I got my ironing board kind of tucked away in there. And then I've got all these upper here's are really handy for all the seasonal clothes. And then it's funny because I just went on mat leave last week, but this was if we were both working from home with my little chair. I had my chair here.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that kind of chair.
Right?
Okay.
Got my my laptop. I had a monitor here as well, which I just returned. But yeah, if we were both working from home and we just needed a second office space.
That's what I did.
Works out perfectly.
Great. And it's just like one cabinet of closet you're taking up. And
so this used to be our drying rack. And so then we repurposed the basement. We just
Constantly shuffling things, but it's worth it because the biggest challenge is when you're lacking floor space and storage and extra space, it might look nice when you set it up, right? But when you're using it day in, day out, you need to be able to access and put things away to keep the space as useful as possible. And then the ensuite, the same little sinks.
plenty of room, actually. The shower's quite large.
We decided that was the one thing worthwhile to include so that we could have enough room for our own little bathroom.
A real shower. I mean, that's a full size shower, right? That's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By building code standards, meets all the requirements for clearances and access and space. And this is one of our favorites as well.
Oh yeah, I spent a little bit of money on this door because I didn't want to be looking at a rod because I said, we're going to be looking at this wall. It's a floating door.
Hi, Gabe. Hello. Whoa, pretty cool.
I fit that guy.
Yeah.
Now he looks like a pirate.
He does.
Are you the youngest?
Living here.
With no kids, you're kind of like the bachelor pad.
Yeah.
And that's good? Like, do you mind all the family around?
That was a bit of a adjustment for me because I was living in Vancouver in the TV industry, but overall the pros massively outweigh the cons for sure. You can still play with it. You can keep it for a bit. This is perfect for what I do. Like having the amount of space of all of my camera gear. I can store it just underneath the stairs. I have my editing suite upstairs as well. So it made too much sense to not be a part of it.
So your bedroom is in the back?
Yeah, I can show you. It's...
And you've also had the experience of being in Vancouver, like a more sort of conventional urban lifestyle, and then coming back to the family. So coming back to the family compound.
For sure. I go over to Granny's all the time, and I don't think I've known her as well as I do these days. So I was living in a basement suite for like 6.5 years. The living was like a bunker. Coming to this from that is a big change. It's like luxury living compared to what I had before. So I can just kind of move this around, take it out of the way, and just kind of like use the space however I like. So I've shot like food commercial stuff. I've shot, stand-up, that kind of stuff. But
because this is a home office studio.
Yeah, most of the work that I do here though is definitely in video editing, which is upstairs. Okay. This is kind of like a flex space, but I'm often have music as a hobby, so I might play piano or sing, but I just play for fun. It's nice to I'm just playing and I'm looking over the house and I see the greenery. It's very like, it's a nice place to be. You know, we're all relatively close together, but I feel like I can play as loud as I want and there's never been any problems, you know what I mean? So I'm just like in here bellowing into the emptiness of the space. And but this is a fun place to play for sure. And it's like decent acoustics as well, so yeah.
So you're editing, I thought this was your edit. Where's your edit?
So editing is this room right here. All of the work that I do, this is where it all happens. Could also be like an upstairs second bedroom if, you know, ever needed. And then obviously this little bathroom there is just, but it's just a small one, but it's got a full shower and it's great for me. It's what I mean, for me, it feels like it's really as much as I would want and need and more. Who's the guy inside?
It's called Durst.
Durst?
That's his name.
Okay, cool.
Your guy name.
I don't know. I haven't made a name for him. Maybe it's Tommy. Yeah. What do you think, Gabe? Can you show him the guy on the inside?
Okay, I'll show you.
And that's all this space is just for me. So it's just like, kind of feels like I've won the lottery in the sense.
So that was his part?
Right. And this is your guys' helmet?
Yeah,
Right. And then it goes back in there.
I got it.
It's coming up with new solutions to the housing crisis, right? Especially where we live. Like, which one? It took me a little bit while to get used to living back here, but honestly, I can't see myself living anywhere else. Let's put the guy's head there. And then what goes on him next?
That
Okay.
goes on my guy.
Mm-hmm.
That goes on my guy.
Yeah.
That. And I'm tending that we share that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot.
Wait, where's the guy's other part of the helmet?
No, this is his part.
Yeah.